We are Cindy and Eddie.
And this is Squeeze the Day.
Yes, we've been visiting a lot of national parks lately, but with views like this, can you blame us? You wake up in the morning and that's what you see? It's really awesome. My brother got here early yesterday morning. We got here late yesterday evening. We spent the entire day in the park and night and another day. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. It is a desert after all.
Where are you? Are you at Arches? Hey, what do you think? Cool, right?
Welcome to Arches National Park. We're going to start off in one of the campground areas, which is basically in the back of the park, and work our way to the front of the park. So come along with us. These are the current fire restrictions, just so you have a heads up, and they do change depending upon the dryness of the season and what's going on. So Arches National Park has designated campsites. There's a lot of them too. Just make sure you make reservations and understand that camping is in the campsites themselves. You can't actually park in one of the parking spots overnight. They'll hit you for that. And if you have one of the America the Beautiful passes, you risk losing that. One other thing that's really awesome, besides the fact that they have restrooms available, they actually sell wood. You can see that right there. So if you're capable of having a fire safely in one of the campsites, you can buy wood, make yourselves a little campfire and have fun, enjoy it. Just remember, fire safety first, and right now, because it's a dry season, they're only allowing fires in designated cooking areas. We woke up this morning in Arches National Park. We joined my brother who was out here. It was a lot of fun. They're going out hiking, so we're gonna go and record some video for you guys so you can see a little bit of the park and see why it's so amazing. Registered campers only, and this is going to take us to our first trail. There is a parking space available for the Broken Arches Trail for anybody who doesn't have a reservation for the campsite. When we arrived the night before, we didn't really get an opportunity to drive around and take a look at this park very much. We did a real quick drive through, so we had a basic idea, but we were super excited about this walk. The Tapestry Archway, pretty amazing. That is the view we're seeing from here. We made sure we took a closer look at this archway for you. There's more to see, so we're going to keep going, but we had to stop and see some of the amazing plant life that's growing through here. This particular tree is pretty massive for a desert plant. Leave a comment below on what you think about it. The trails that we're following are fairly obvious, but not always obvious. As you can see, the footprints in the sand. But once in a while they split off and we don't know exactly where we're going, so we're doing the best we can. And we have to enjoy these amazing views while we're there, because even though it's a desert, it is quite beautiful. One of the things that we run into being in a national park like this is they don't allow pets on the trails. So you either have to have somebody watch Cinders or put her in an RV or someplace cool that she can sit and relax, sleep for a little bit while we're out here walking the trails. So if you bring a pet, do not leave them in a hot car. Make sure that they have plenty of water. If you do leave them in an RV, just make sure they're safe. You really want to take the opportunity to enjoy these trails as much as possible. You want to make sure that you always have plenty of water with you whenever you're taking a hike along these desert trails. It is a very dry heat out here. Now, take a look at this model that somebody made. So cute. Another thing to keep in mind while you're in the desert is a lot of the time you're going to be walking on sand, so it's a little bit more strenuous even when it's level like this trail was. Make sure you're properly preparing for that with sturdy shoes that will not fill up with sand very easily as you walk. This is the first look we had of this arch, and we're super excited about it because it's quite beautiful, and we weren't the only ones there. Before us we have Broken Arch, and And as you can see with the gentleman standing in front of us, how big this actually is. Thanks for that perspective. And that is the view off to the left. There's more arches to see, so we gotta get going. As you leave the camping area, take an immediate right, and that'll take you to the next group. Check out these desert flowers. I'm not sure what they are, but they are pretty amazing. There are a lot of arches on this particular path. The Devil's Garden area trails are some of the most popular trails. The reason they're some of the most popular trails is because there's so many arches along the trail. It is a very long trail. You'll need water, sunscreen, a hat. Make sure you're staying safe on the trails. They also have a couple really awesome arches that are right by the beginning part of the trail. This is that trail that we're walking along, right along this way. The trail goes that way. The first arch that we're gonna come to is called Tunnel Arch, and it should be right around here. There you go, guys. Those are the routes you need to take. That's gonna be the view. We're gonna walk down to that lookout point where those two people are at. Following this trail, those four people are coming up from. And then we're gonna continue on where they just came from. Love how well those trails are marked. And I think everybody else does too. Part of the reason why these trails are so popular. That's gonna be the Tunnel Arch. What you can see is, that's actually a tunnel. That's an arch, so it's like 2 for 1. This area is just beautiful. Time to move on. Walking through these mountains, it's just gorgeous. It'll take your breath away. I'm walking as quickly as possible because I want to get as much of that view in as I can. And then you start climbing up this hill, and all of a sudden, wow. Let me see if I can get in there so I can give you perspective of how big this is. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the size and scale. Pine Tree Arch. Well, that provides a lot of shade. There you have it, folks. That's 3 of the 4 arches in Arches National Park. I'm just kidding. There's actually a lot. How many arches are there in Arches National Park? Let's have Eddie tell us real quick. There are over 2,000 documented arches. There you have it. Next one is Skyline Arch. And we don't really have to go that far to see this one. That's because it was right by the side of the road. Next, we're going to be going to Sand Dune Arch. When we're driving through this park, we're remembering that all these stone features are made out of sandstone. And when sandstone gets weathered, it creates sand. You're gonna walk through this in order to get to Sand Dune Arch. And this is why it's called Sand Dune Arch. Sand all the way up to the arch. So you're gonna come up through those. You can choose either way. I went through the cooler area where the shadow was. Come up to see Sand Dune Arch. You can go through that way to continue up there. Just so you do have a heads up on your way in there. You're going to crawl through that tiny little area. Just be careful. It's sandy, slightly slippery. Stay safe, guys. And always have fun. Also be aware, this area coming in, they did build a path for it, but it does get wet after a rain. Here comes a wild Eddie running back to the car. This park is massive, which means you can spend a lot of time driving, getting from arch to arch, and you can spend a lot of time hiking to get to these arches as well. Make sure you have plenty of water with you. It's a desert. I might have to say that a couple of times. You have 2 options on how to get through here. You can actually take the long walk, which is what we're going to show you right now, or go this way and take the short walk. The long walk is also going to have a couple of restrooms that are available here. There's so much parking in this area, it makes for a very easy way to go. This parking lot is going to be where you go to in order to take the shorter walk to get up to this arch. There's also a lot of parking here, not as much, but it's a very good area to go to if you're not interested in walking a long way or if you're in a time crunch. This is what that pathway is going to look like. Follow this up to that archway and make sure you're being safe. As you can see, it's well paved, but you still want to be cautious. As you can see from this picture, the archway is right in front of you. So that's how big that is. That is a person moving right there. And one day, all that material in between there, like right in that area, is going to wear away enough that the weight of that is going to break and that will fall. Another thing that's really cool is there used to be something called chip off the old block right there. That fell in the winter of 1975-76. Arches National Park is a massive park, but it takes planning, so make sure you plan ahead when you're coming here. Put in those reservations if necessary. Bring plenty of water, snacks, food. Don't feed the wildlife. But most importantly, plan to have some fun because these arches are amazing. With over 2,000 arches, you really have your choice of which ones you want to see and which ones you want to prioritize. We also took time to enjoy these amazing rock formations. Since we started at the end of the park and are driving towards the beginning of the park, we are showing the beginning of the park last, which means this is the entrance you're going to be driving up into to get into the park. Make sure you're paying attention to those curves and drive safely. We really enjoyed our visit here and we think you will too. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so that you can continue to follow along with us as we continue on this adventure.
And as always, squeeze the day and be well.